All of life is governed by various universal principles. The success or failure in any area of your life depends on how well you cooperate with the various principles of life. In this video, I'm going to be giving you 10 life quotes or life principles that can change your life for the better. Coming right up. What is up, everyone? My name is KG. Welcome back to my channel. In one of his sermons, Miles Monroe made a statement that I struggled to come to grips with for some time. He said, "Success is easy and predictable." I was like, hold on, what is this man saying? I mean, I've been trying to make it for some time, to make a better life for myself. And, I'm sure I can speak for a whole lot of people as well who've been, trying their best to live their best life, so to speak. Fortunately for me, Mr. Monroe went on to elaborate on his statement. He said success or failure are both built into existence. He mentioned that whether we fail or succeed depends on how well we obey the various principles of success or life. For example, the law of gravity is a universal law that no one can deny. What goes up comes down. The only other law that can sort of override gravity or sort of suspend gravity is another universal principle, which is the law of aerodynamics, which is basically the law that enables planes to fly or even birds to fly. Since the beginning of time, many great thinkers made similar observations in terms of how people succeed, in terms of how the world works, in terms of how to make a relationship work. Having a long-lasting relationship, for an example, is not by accident. It happens because those couples apply the necessary or obey the various principles that govern relationships. If one or more of those laws are disobeyed, then sooner or later that relationship will end, or things may begin to go wrong and quarrels may start happening. To help you succeed in different areas of your life, I've compiled a list of 10 quotes or life principles that can literally transform your life for the better. Number one, what lies behind us or what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Let me tell you something. Your best days are not behind you or ahead of you. Your best days are within you. What do I mean by that? I'll try to explain it by employing the analogy of the seed. A seed is a tiny thing, yet it contains within itself the sum total of a fully fledged tree or plant. It contains within itself all the elements that are necessary to become that which it was created to be. Though external factors like water and the environment ultimately help the seed to become what it is meant to be, but the true power of the seed is within itself. In order to change your life, you need to tap into your core. You need to look deep within yourself and find your unique power. You may not have everything you need right now to make your dream a reality, but you have enough inside of you to start. Start with what you have, and what you have is inside of you. I am referring here to your unique gift, that one thing that you can do well with minimal effort, that one thing that when you do it, people get amazed at how well you are good at it, even though it comes second nature, it seems second nature to you. That is your unique power. That is the thing that can create a better future for you. If you can refine that thing, if you can unleash that thing and refine it, it will over time change your life. Number two, success is stumbling from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. One of the biggest downfalls of our generation is that we give up too soon and we have the wrong concept of failure. All truly successful people have failed many times. This is so because failure is a necessary ingredient in the recipe of success. You cannot succeed unless you are willing to fail. And the reason why I say most of you have the wrong concept of failure is because many people think that when you fail, it means that you will never succeed. But if you view failure correctly, it can actually become a way of taking you closer to where you are trying to go. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb and many other things, failed about 1,000 times before he could get it right. And when he was asked, why didn't you give up? He said, every time I failed, I found one way that doesn't work. The great Albert Einstein also once said, it's not that I'm that smart, but I stay with problems longer. The reason why some of you have not been succeeding is because you don't stay with one thing long enough. If you try something and if it doesn't work out in a couple of months or even years, you give up and you try something else, not realizing that mastery takes time. You have to fail. You have to, refine your craft. You have to learn by falling and getting up and say, okay, what did I learn so that I can walk differently as I continue towards my goal? And I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy to maintain your enthusiasm when you're trying your best but things don't seem to be moving forward. But just know that success requires you to remain enthusiastic. Success requires you to see beyond your current circumstances or your current challenges. You have to keep your vision in mind. Even if it seems like you're not going anywhere, keep your vision in mind and keep doing what you do. One day, all your hard work will definitely pay off. Number 3, you must expect great things of yourself before you can do them. One of the reasons why entrepreneurship or successful entrepreneurship is rare amongst the black community, it's because somehow we have internalized a narrative that we are not good enough to be employers, that we are only good enough to work for someone else. I'm not going to get into the history of how that programming came into being, but there's obviously a history behind it. The point is, we have internalized it, and in order for us to start being successful entrepreneurs who come up with innovations that change the world, that help the world, that the entire world can consume, we need to start seeing ourselves as a great people. Like every other race, we have the potential to come up with things that can literally improve the world around us. But we cannot do that if we don't see ourselves the right way. So, in order to do great things, you must expect great things out of yourself. When you arise in the morning, think of how privileged you are to be alive. Someone once said, one of the hardest arithmetics to master is that of counting our own blessings. You may not be where you would like to be, but where you are is a very privileged position. Gratitude attracts more blessings, more growth, more resources. In this tough economic climate, you need to be thankful, grateful if you still have a job, if you can still put food on the table, if you're in a relationship with someone who loves you for who you are, who is not taking you for granted, who is giving of their time, who is trying their best to make you happy. Do not take that for granted, because there are so many people that wish to have what you have. Thank God for that person. Take care of them. Nurture that relationship. Protect it. I mean, the number of dating shows on TV nowadays is crazy. And for me, that is a sign that it's not easy to find genuine, true love. It's hard, and if you have it, don't mess it up. Number 5, there is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease to worry about things that are beyond your control. If you can do something about it, then take that action. But if you can't, then quit worrying about it. No one has ever solved the problem by continually worrying about it. Worrying encourages or attracts negative energy. It is draining, it is tiring, it is not healthy. Also, don't worry about who doesn't like you or who left you or what you do not have. Also, stop worrying about your current ideal conditions or circumstances. If God put you there, then it means there's something that you need to learn. Stop worrying about the mistakes of your past. You know, it's done. You can't change it. The only thing you can do is to learn from those experiences and become a better person today and in preparation for your tomorrow. Number 6, we suffer more from imagination than reality. Most of the things that we worry about don't happen. For some reason, the human mind gravitates towards the worst case scenario. For example, hypochondria is a psychological disorder characterized by someone who has a tendency of diagnosing themselves based on articles they read, health articles they read online or from magazines. So, for instance, you'll find that maybe, they read about 2 symptoms of a particular chronic disease. And based on what they've read, now they start, worrying and panicking to say, I had a headache yesterday, I had a sore back, what are the chances that I have this disease as well? Without really considering the other symptoms that are listed there, which they do not have, and without consulting with a doctor, to get a checkup to say, am I fine or not? So this is an example of our tendency to always expect the worst, and that is not a healthy way of living. Considering the fact that, think about how many times you were worried about something and it turned out better than you expected, or it turned out better than you thought it was going to turn out. And think about the peace that you lost during that time of worrying, where you couldn't even eat properly, you couldn't even enjoy, the company of your friends or your loved ones, because you were so stressing, because you were in that mode of worrying and thinking about the worst case scenario. The Bible says God has not given us the spirit of fear, but that of love and of power and of a sound mind. So that tendency to expect the worst, that's not a spirit from God. God wants you to have peace. God wants you to trust, to believe that, your latter days will be better than your former days. Number 7, fortune favors the brave. I'm sure you've heard of this one. Courage is one of the essential keys of success. You'll be shocked at how many people out there are living beyond their potential simply because they are afraid, or they don't have the courage to, pursue their passions and dreams. Plato, one of the Greek philosophers, said, some people are governed by people who are less intelligent or smarter than them simply because they lack courage. The more courageous you are, the luckier you become in terms of, stumbling upon opportunities that are in line with your passions and your dreams. I don't know how many times I procrastinated starting my YouTube channel, and I think back then a part of that was, what if I'm not good enough? What if they don't like my videos? What if I'm not talented enough to do what these other people are doing? It took a whole lot of courage for me to say, what, there's a burning fire within me, and I believe that I'm carrying something within myself that can help someone, that can add value to the world. So the best way to gain courage is to realize that it's not about you. Your gift is about service. Your gift is about making a difference in someone else's life. So, as a matter of fact, we are being selfish whenever we are afraid of, taking those steps, because we care too much about what others will think of us. And so, without courage, there cannot be success. Number 8, 80% of success is showing up. You don't need to figure it all out at once. You need to merely take those steps, take those daily steps towards your goals. So it's about waking up when you don't feel like waking up. It's about working your craft even on days where you don't feel like it. For instance, people who go to the gym can tell you that They don't always feel like going to the gym, but because of the goals that they've set before themselves, they have to push themselves. They have to show up. And the more you show up, the more you start feeling like it just because you showed up. The more you show up, the more you come up with ways of how to better your craft, of how to really improve on your skills. But you need to press record. You need to go to that gym. You need to open that music production application. You need to start. You need to show up. That's all you need to do. Just show up. Or to use the famous Nike slogan, just do it. Number 9, people rarely succeed unless they enjoy what they're doing. Most of the successful people I know honestly enjoy what they're doing. I mean, for instance, the other day I was watching Jeff Dunham, the ventriloquist, and you could see that this man enjoys what he does. And, as a result, his passion and his drive led to incredible success. His net worth is way more than some people will ever earn in a lifetime. And that's because he found his gift. And because he found his gift, it was something that he was passionate about. He was enjoying it. And, the more you enjoy something, the more of it you can do. For an example, it takes a while to, create videos like this. But I enjoy the process because I'm passionate about it. I enjoy, talking about these things. I enjoy, the editing process. I enjoy just doing this. So I think it's easy to push yourself. It's easy to be consistent. It's easy to keep going if you do what you love. And last but not least, for part 1, number 10, to be independent of public opinion is the first formal condition towards greatness. The reason why most people are not pursuing their dreams is because they care too much about what others will think if they fail or if it doesn't work out. I posted a video a couple of days ago about the spotlight effect, where I mentioned the fact that most of the time people don't really care about what we do, yet we give so much credit to the opinion of others that it tends to cripple our ability to take action towards our goals. People who truly make it in life are those that don't care much about the opinion of others. They follow their dreams regardless of what others think. They have so much conviction within themselves regarding their goals and dreams that they don't need to be affirmed. They don't need the nod of the people around them. They go forward even if it means proceeding alone. There's something I do whenever I feel like the opinion of others is crippling my ability to take action towards a specific or particular goal. So what I do is I say to myself, 200 years from now, everyone alive will be dead. Meaning that, all these people that I'm afraid of, all these people whose opinion I value so much, will be all gone 200 years from now. So why then should I not live my life? Why then would I not, go after my dreams and my goals? Why would I then not go after my goals because I'm afraid of people that are mortal beings like me? Because of people that, 200 years from now won't even be here. Why should I be afraid of living my life? Because I'm afraid of an opinion of people whose opinion won't even matter in the long run.